everyone. This is Short Pants Free Radio. Gamers, get your ears on because we're blowing the speakers out.
Grimdark Live. It is time for Grimdark Live. This show is for the nerds, the outcasts, the weirdos.
And for short pants gamers?
No, not you.
Ah, crap.
Get ready, all you Grimdark goons, for dice, dragons, demons, and a dwarf. Only right here on Grimdark Live.
Let's hit the fucking road!
All right, welcome back to another show. And Gooseneck, yeah, wasabi, bud. We are definitely back, and we're gonna be talking about Slaves of Darkness tonight. We're gonna be getting into that army a little bit, and we got Bill, we got Dustin, we got Camille, we got everyone in the house. We got our great, the original Man of Chaos, literally the Man of Chaos in this show, the guy that started so many things and really gave life to this Grimdark Live. We got Sean. Wasabi, bud. What do you hear? What do you say?
Not much. Chaos is good. I just feel a little uncomfortable where I'm sitting right now because there's a banner of Stormcast.
Oh, I just thought that we didn't put a seat on that chair in the post. I thought that was, but how's that going? You're okay there?
It's good. I'm still on my tippy toes, so it's,
good.
All
right, well,
but he does ride his bicycle without a seat, so don't let him fool you folks.
I don't have a bicycle.
I was out riding a bike with him the other day.
Monocycle.
I was out riding a bike with him the other day. He said, I've never come this way. I said, it must be the cobblestone.
Sorry.
Unicycle.
Sorry. Mono. One wheel.
Are you going to let this guy back at the show?
I don't know. You know what? But I just ruined a perfectly good joke because of it.
Mm-hmm.
That one burned at the stake. Shut up, Dustin. You're
I'll
kind of
take a
happy
medium
about that,
rare.
aren't you?
Steak's delicious.
You know what? And we got our resident knobbler back, man. Everybody, here it is. We got Lev the knobbler.
Alrighty,
What's up, bud?
the
Lev, you ready to talk to all of us today? Come on, buddy.
Nope.
Hey, Lev, give us one nope. Nope. All right.
Not even a nope.
If the
All right.
glare could cut.
Yes.
That inflation.
Exactly.
Inflation. Can't afford it.
Yep.
So we got a lot to talk about tonight. Again, we're going to be kind of getting into some of our experience with 4th edition, since of course that's kind of the topic with everybody tonight. Camille, you didn't lean in and say hello to everybody.
I just did a 20-mile bike ride. Hi, guys.
This bike ride's getting longer as she goes up and down
No,
the stairs.
I'm kidding. It's 10 miles. It's commitment. I love you guys.
So that's what she did. Actually, it was her car got repossessed. It was that whole thing about that hit and run. Yeah. Yeah.
Where'd you get it back?
So
Hey, speaking of which, Pat, how's that wheelchair working out for you? I heard you were in a hit and run.
I got to tell you, and the problem is that the guy in the wheelchair kept up with us about a half a mile.
Yeah.
Then we kind of lost him.
Was it like a powered wheelchair? Like the battery just went out?
Lens
Or what?
people
That's
go
it.
to not to pay that quarter for the bus fare.
That's it.
I'll tell
That's
you.
it. But yeah, so we got, as you can see, we got November Nightmare that's going to be coming. I'm going to start the show now, guys. Is that okay with you guys? Can I do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, we might as well.
Kind of having fun taking jabs at you here.
Oh, you know what? That's true. It's kind of a term of endearment. But yeah, we got November Nightmare that's coming up, and that's going to be November 23rd. It's going to be a Saturday. It's going to be a 3-game 1-day event, and it's going to be a split room. We're going to have both Age of Sigmar and 40K, and it's going to support the VFW, my home VFW, by the way, in Lockport, Illinois. All the proceeds are going to go to that. So everyone here signed up?
I am.
Signed up. Well, as soon as I finish that new army.
All right.
Doing a little house transition right now.
All right. Sean?
Not yet, but I probably
All right,
will.
well, he's not our guest anymore tonight, folks. Thank you very much. Sean, wave goodbye to everybody.
Thanks for coming in, guys. We'll see you next week.
We even have the new Camille, the new daughter of Cain. Your army's going to be ready, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, she just looked at me like, I'm lying to you right now? I'm just staring at you going, yes, that's a complete lie.
No,
Yeah.
my army's
Yeah.
going to be done this weekend.
Tell everybody on the camera.
My army's going to be done this weekend, and I'm actually going to get a game in. I'm not scared anymore.
She's a 3-color champ, folks. That's all that's required. The base, and more base.
Grayback sure.
Hey, it's all treble.
Grayback sure okay.
As long
It's
as
all
it's
about the
not
base. No trouble.
Can you tell he's got kids, folks? I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, you could always get a 0 for painting score. I mean, who really needs a painting score to win, right?
Man, how wild would that be if somebody won a tournament by like a half a point for a painting score? You got the best hobby score, yeah, and that's how you win the tournament.
You know what? I got to. Okay, so I'm going to go back. You started me on a topic I need to get on right now. And I'm just, you know what I'm going to do? We're just going to jump right into this. We're going to have to come back because we also got another one of our great commercials we're going to be throwing at you guys. But you brought it up, hobby. So since we're talking about 4th edition, we're going to talk about our past game experiences.
Age of Sigmar.
4th edition.
That never doesn't get creepy.
He started it.
That just gets creepier and creepier. You know, I think if you're ever trapped in
like
a basement.
Pee-wee's Herman word of the day every time you say 4th edition.
Sorry.
Okay, guys. Good night. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Have a nice night.
Bye.
Good night. Play the music. No, hobby. You know, in all of our tournaments in the past, obviously you've got to have the best overall. We tried to do the hobby thing. We also did something new this year at Armed Forces Day, now known as Brawl in the Hall. Look out for that. We got our 2025 dates already set up. But I've always kind of been on the fence with the whole hobby thing, you know, because, you know, you can go out and have somebody else paint your army for you, and if you want to be a dick, you can claim it as your own work. You can have one of these professional painters, and people do that, and they can't tell me they don't. Don't tell me you don't, because you're lying to me. But how would you mitigate that? I mean, what do you do with hobby to mitigate that? So what we did for a while, and people complained, is we kept hobby and sports and all the soft scores. We kept those separate.
I like having that separate.
And I think the reason for that, and one of the reasons for that, was because we never knew if the person actually painted their own fucking army or not. How do you prove that?
Unless you personally know the person and seen them work on it, or you just know that they paint their army.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, you have some players that they play the game to get really good at it. Then you have other people like me, where hobby is a big part of it for me. Maybe not painting, but converting and making models unique. That's a big part of it for me. But yeah, like not everyone is good at at all aspects of the hobby. So that's one of the reasons why I liked it being separate.
Right. Okay.
So
I mean, but what about keeping it as overall score?
No.
Maybe as like a end
tiebreaker.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't think it should be a tiebreaker.
Well, towards the end, like, oh my god, I'm basically gonna have to flip a coin. That should be like the last tiebreaker.
Man, if it
before
Roll
we flip a
dice,
coin.
dude.
roll
dice.
dice.
Sorry.
Is it? It's dice.
Roll die.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've always kind of been torn like an old sweater on what really to do about the whole.
Because sports is kind of finicky,
Very subjective.
subjective.
Mhm.
I mean, so is painting too. So it's just kind of like, because like in like other games, so a more popular card game that's been around since 94, 93.
Sure.
You
That
have
shall not be named.
I know for trademark relations I can't say it. But
Yeah.
they have like certain,
Abracadabra.
Sure.
Right.
It's been around for a long time. It's got a pretty good popular following to it. But what they'll do is like they'll go by the strength of opponent. So like let's say there's 10 people and there's 2 people that are 3-0, but it'll go by their opponents for points basically of how good their opponents were in the game. So if you go by someone who's just playing like that fluffy list or just that fun list, you may not get a lot of points for that. So that's another way to do it. And I think BCP or Best Coast Pairings might be able to do that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know that they got a couple of different configurations now, but Luis Mino, he brought up a good point here. Some people like to play and others like to paint. And some pay so they can have great paint jobs, but it's bad that you paint something you didn't paint. What he's saying is that when you try to come in and you got to try to use somebody else's paint job as your own, but and that happens. And I'll tell a quick story about Adepticon. I think it was 16. I used to know a lady that used to paint professionally. She probably still does. I've lost track of her. I don't know where she is, but I was standing there at the end of the Adepticon champs, and I had previously the day before, because it's a 2-day 5-game event, back when the champs were on Saturday and Sunday, and I knew that she had painted this person's army. Well, lo and behold, and this is a lady that probably does close to 6,000 or 7,000 in revenue a month painting armies. She's an incredible painter. Yeah, she I'm not going to give her name away because she's been in heavy metal, and she's done a lot of stuff like that.
She's doing a bunch of third-party stuff like with Fiverr and Upwork.
Yeah, but people, I mean, there's a waiting list, but she's a hell of a painter, and she's in and around. We'll just say this area. But so I was just talking to her. I was just having a conversation with her, and I happened to see the person that won Best Hobby did it off of her painted army.
See, that's why, to me, it should be a completely separate topic, not in conjunction with how you actually play. Because, again, if that'd be like, to me, I look at that like somebody paid, like, I show up with my army, and I pay somebody else to be the general for my army.
Right, exactly.
But, I mean, it was my list. That doesn't mean anything.
Oye,
You
Luis,
gotta stop having your kid
no
play.
importa, todo está bien.
No dedicated dice rollers.
Tú conoces tus palabras en inglés muy bien. Todo está bien, vato. Me aprendo la escuela en español, en la escuela militar también. Y el otro, mi otra persona aquí, él puede hablar español también.
Señor
Can you
William,
share with the class?
yo he aprendido a hablar en español por mi negocio. Yo distribuyo las porcomiquinas en restaurantes locales.
I like tacos
Pero
and
todo está bien, Luis. Todo está bien.
Muchas
No,
gracias,
Luis, you write everything very well in English. I just can't read for shit because I'm dyslexic. You know what they're I'm kind of like the dyslexic bank robber. I got to tell this one now. I know you've already heard it.
Go ahead.
It's like the bank robber runs into the bank, dyslexic guy, and he throws a note on the table, and the teller looks at it and says, "Aaron the Hands Mother sticker. This is a fuck up." So there you go, Luis. You're doing good, buddy. You're doing good. Gracias, vato. Gracias. All right, man. Well, let's. So this is what we got going on. Back to this. So yeah, I think the hobby itself is important. I do because I can't paint for shit. I suck. I'm a terrible painter. What'd you say there?
I'm agreeing with you.
Sean's been a great guest tonight. Everybody wave goodbye to him.
Yeah, you can't get this guy. Just roll him out the door. How many times have we got to wave him out?
Yeah.
Need that wrap it up box.
So Haroon, we got a guy in the chats right now that's a hell of a painter. Haroon, this guy can paint. He started out as erotic body painting for midgets, and that's we met him at a trampoline competition in Sacramento. In what was it? It was 97, 98?
97. Now we all bought the ticket, so we took the ride. But
Oh God, I'll tell you what, I'm still recovering from that one. How are you doing?
You know what? They call them peg leg for a reason, folks.
I got to tell you those, and the thing is, I'll never forget how the strokes. You couldn't even on those little bastards with their little bikinis on. You couldn't see his paint strokes.
Yep.
That was the most amazing thing that Haroon was able to do. But talent, guys.
A lot of glazing for sure.
That wasn't paint. That wasn't paint.
Sean knows it was frosting. He's the one who glazed it in.
All right, so let me get. So yeah, sorry, Haroon, I'll stop giving your secrets away. But no, the thing is that
you can find him at SigmarSingles.com under glazing.
And the thing is that's a good point, Haroon. Yeah, she's not the only one that's had her work stolen, and that's why I've always had a problem with the hobby because, and again, I'm willing to bet that the larger majority of the gaming community paints their own shit. I, for one, paint like a one-armed drunk that fell off a tilt-a-whirl, but I think that.
How do you fall off a tilt-a-whirl?
Well, are you still here?
We've lost. So run the ride, Sean.
That's it. So, but I think that's what happens. I think that's the risk we have to run, though, right? I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe they you can't account for every cheater on the tabletop either, though, right?
You know what? I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where perhaps the artist should start marking on the bottom of the base, underneath the base. Put their initials on the actual base. That way, you can tell who did it. Because if there's a big black square or something smudged down the base. Because again, if they're doing the painting, well, that's what I'm saying. If you're painting the underside of the base, like, hey, you're clearly knocking out somebody's initials. Because now, if they're not good at painting, and they're going to pay somebody else for the hobby and score for the painting.
Sure.
Clearly, they didn't do their own basing either.
Done.
All right, they're not going to crack the model off, put a new base on, try to rebase it. So as long as, and I'm talking on the bottom of the actual base, sign their initials. That way, you know it wasn't them.
Or even dremeling initials.
Good
Dremel
point.
The initial or
Dremel
something
on the bottom of the base,
somewhere
something
on
solid.
the base. Correct.
Because they're going to go through the trouble to green stuff it all back together. It's going to be obvious that they tried to go.
Yeah. There you go. There's
problem solvers.
Yeah, Luis, you're a good point, buddy. I mean, I don't think there's no way you really can. I don't know how you could guarantee that. You're right. So I guess it's a risk that we take, but you got to give people the benefit of the doubt. I guess I'm just a prick. You guys can disagree with me anytime now,
You're
right?
not a
You're going to
prick.
disagree with me.
I tried.
You know what?
At least I got your back.
With friends like this, who needs enemas?
You see those canaries?
Friends like this, who needs enemas? All right, I'm going to go. We're going to go ahead and play a commercial here, and I'm going to smack these guys around in the background, but we'll be right back.
Why do legions of Warhammer enthusiasts find love on sigmasingles.com? Because nothing says romance like a perfectly painted miniature. Greetings, esteemed connoisseurs of the miniature battlefield. Are you tired of your armies standing alone without a fellow general to share in your victories? Fear not, sigmasingles.com is your one-stop sanctuary for love and war. Hammer. Here, you can post personal ads, seeking that perfect partner who appreciates a well-crafted figurine as much as you do. Buy and sell your Warhammer miniatures and trading cards, whether it's single models or entire armies, but the piece de resistance? The chance to connect with like-minded individuals who understand the art of strategic conquest, both on and off the battlefield. So why wait? Join sigmasingles.com today, and may your dice rolls always be in your favor. Because in the game of love, everyone deserves a critical hit.
All right, we're back. These guys survived the beating. But okay, so before we jump into kind of our bridge topic, before we get into the Slaves of Darkness list by from our guest Sean. Sean, you had something you wanted to say about the hobby.
So, I actually only really paint for.
I'm not trying to cut you off, Sean, but I'm looking at your arms, your head. I'm not seeing any beating. What were you beating?
Shh. Keep going, Sean. Don't say anything.
I guess I really want that money. Anyway, so I normally I always looked at painting as like the worst. Like I just hate doing it.
Same.
I'd rather play. Like you
Same.
know, if I could rate, it'd be playing the game. 2 would be putting stuff together, which can be annoying now, and 3 is like at the bottom is painting.
Sure.
I feel like I'm being forced to do it. I know I should have kept my mouth quiet about for Armed Forces Day. Hey, we don't need to paint stuff, right? I should have just kept on quiet. Just had a My pile of shame is more of a horde of shame, if you will.
Horde of shame.
You said horde, didn't you?
Horde,
Yes.
like a
Okay,
dragon's horde.
got it,
yes,
got it,
yes.
got it.
Not.
I just wasn't sure what you were painting.
Yeah.
You went back to glazing or something. All right, go ahead.
So like I had a injury in my right hand, and I'm right-handed. So
You got to use the other hand. It's like cheating. Sorry.
He enjoys the stranger.
that's another story for another time. But anyway, so I would airbrush a lot, and I just couldn't use my index finger to go down and back for the airbrush. So like I just couldn't do it. And I could barely pick up my thumb and my index finger off like a table, like
Right.
lift it up. So like I actually did okay.
It did ruin his other career, which was typically playing the world's smallest violin.
I lost so much money. So much money.
Way to make the guest feel welcome.
About $75,000.
I know.
That's like 8 Warhammer armies.
Yeah. Or like just nowadays like just a 1,000-point army, 8,000-point armies.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So 4 armies.
So
yeah.
no, that's a good point. I mean, we're not going to be able to solve all the game problems here tonight. Although we'll get so close, the average person would know the difference. But that was again. I'll end it with that. That was always my issue with the hobby end of it, because I guess I was there when some dude claimed it was his work when it wasn't. And you know what? He didn't walk up to this particular woman and give her the medal or the trophy that he got. He didn't do that.
3,000 years ago, he was there.
I was there.
Yes.
So.
I mean, keep it separate, but also keep it so it's important. So you do have the people who come out for hobby type awards.
It's actually
that are
worth
gonna
their
go
time.
for it,
Then
make it worth their time. Get everybody involved.
Yeah, I think maybe without probably boring the hell out of a lot of people, maybe we have another show another time on like soft scores and narrative campaigns, stuff like that. I mean, we No, it actually sounds like a terrible idea. I had to kind of say that out loud.
Put it to the chats if they want to see us all play a narrative campaign on a different day.
Yeah, all right, do that. But
that Twitter handle going.
My narrative is to smash you in the face. That's my.
Oh, sorry.
A lot of people don't know this, but I want to start keep moving on here. But a lot of people know this, but Sean was one of the original other guy on the show back when we started Grimdark Live way back in the day.
He was number 1.
He was he was number 2.
That's a Nurgle joke.
So the thing is that Sean, we had some pretty interesting adventures on the show back in the day.
I remember a few.
So, do you anyone you care to bring up, or do you want me to start? Okay, I'll take the silence there. So you remember
where this is going already.
Yes.
what do you mean? What are you talking about? You guys don't know anything. I'm going to just switch gears here. And even though this is an AOS show, I thought it'd be appropriate to kind of bring up an old 40K story. I think that'd be the way to do it. You want to talk about that one, Sean? You want to bring that one up?
From your point of view, I don't think you have everything right, because I think there's something wrong with that side.
I would also like to add that we have audio evidence of it all happening. So I think
John was in the bathroom with the other 2 to 4.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell he's very bashful. So I'm gonna keep the show. I'm gonna keep the wheels turning here. So. In one particular time, I think this was Adepticon 16 or 17. John Otto, if you're out there, you gotta help us out here, man, because you already did.
Gary's supposedly the one who found you.
Well, he did. That's right.
Yeah,
we will. All right, we got to get Gary Frank in here, man. We'll definitely do that. But
that's good.
So the funny thing is that Gary comes running in to the fantasy hall where we were playing at AFD. I mean Adepticon, and So we're there, and he comes in. He goes, "Hey," "You got to come in here because you got to help. Sean's gone crazy." And folks, Sean meaning our guest here tonight. So I go running into the main 40K hall, which is right across the hall from where we're playing fantasy.
Lies and slander.
And no, folks. One of Sean's good friends corroborated this entire story. Who was there? And Camille, you heard it.
Yeah, we were sitting by the fire pit. We called him, and he confirmed your story.
We confirmed. Hey, John Otto, please leave something in the comments.
Said, yeah, there was drinking involved. That's basically what he said.
That's not what he said.
This is what we need to do.
Sean gets very defensive.
We need to get
okay.
Gary.
Let me.
That means it happened.
We'll get Randy in here because Randy was also there too.
Yeah, and the thing is, here's the problem though. You were almost blackout drunk with your foot on someone's miniature cart, slamming their booze.
That was my cart.
It was his cart.
So I got to tell this now because look, we got black ice on the chats here, man. The dude wants to hear the story.
Your cart? Is that what happened?
No.
You stole their booze. They're trying to steal your cart.
No, hold on. So let me just finish the story.
Yeah.
So because Black Ice is impatient here, man. He wants to hear the damn story. So I go into the 40K, and it's the far table by the exit doors in the front, and there's Sean with a bottle of whiskey tipped back in his mouth.
Because it was actually vodka.
Okay, well then, excuse me. Okay, so it was a bottle of alcohol
of vodka
tipped back in his gullet, and he's chugging it like he just crossed the Sahara Desert with 20 whores on his back. And he's got his foot on the cart. And now, whoever miniatures were on the cart is incidental, because there was a guy trying to get around the cart, and Sean is strategically using his foot while chugging the booze to keep the guy from coming around to get at him. And it was one of those things where I don't know if you've ever, Ed, I know you, buddy. I'm kidding with you, bro. If you've ever seen something with your eyes that your brain can't catch up to, that's exactly what was happening when I was looking at Sean do this. Because it's not that I doubt you, Sean. It's not that I doubt you at all, because I know what kind of fiend you are. I know what kind of absolute degenerate drunk you really are. I know that. But the thing is that I was in a weird place between being thoroughly impressed
and scared
and horrified. And I said horrified. I said, yeah.
Okay.
Well, to be fair,
I believe they call that bewilderment.
I did make somebody realize they need to stop drinking after they had their other kid, but that was different.
Who stopped drinking? You?
No. It was
You had a kid?
another buddy at Adepticon. That I met.
No, because the only time that Sean ever stops drinking is between beers.
How did you have a kid with that buddy?
No, he's married.
Modern times, man. Modern times. I
don't trust where this is going.
He's married to a woman who had a child.
So you mean to tell me no penis?
You know what a woman is?
Okay, here we go. Wait, we just took a left turn at Albuquerque. We're off the rails. So yeah, so that's one of many stories you guys are going to be hearing tonight with Sean and his drunken escapades. That involved plastic little dollies being pushed across the table.
I mean, I have been known to be the designated drinker for Randy. So.
Randy, the nicest guy in tabletop wargaming. We got to play that homage, that homage to Randy. That time that he got hurt. Remember that? We gotta play that on the next show. We'll do
Where
that
was
for
he
him.
at? I can't remember. Where did it happen?
That was Spanish Fork, Utah.
Spanish Fork, Utah. Yeah,
You know, he was. That's where he's a legend. You know, he really is. But we'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that next week.
I forgot about that.
That's it.
Oh, now it's coming back.
The nicest guy in tabletop wargaming. All right, we're going to get on with the list review. You guys ready? We're gonna be right back with that. Stick around.
Hey Warhammer fans, today we're diving into a monumental shift in our beloved universe. The Beasts of Chaos, a faction that has roared and rampaged through Age of Sigmar, is returning to Warhammer: The Old World. For years, the Beasts of Chaos have been a symbol of unbridled fury and raw power. From the Gores and Ungores to the towering Bulgors and the fearsome great Bray Shamans, these creatures have given us countless memories. We've summoned primal energies, trampled over enemy lines, and orchestrated chaotic symphonies on the battlefield. Remember those heated battles? The rush of deploying your herdstone, the thrill of ambushing your foes, the sheer satisfaction of watching a perfectly executed primal stampede. Ah, the nostalgia. As the Beasts of Chaos prepare to march back into the mists of the old world, let's take a moment to honor their legacy in Age of Sigmar. They've not just been an army, they've been an experience, an emblem of untamed wilderness, a testament to the chaos within. But this isn't a farewell. No, this is a see you later. The old world holds new promises, new battles, and new legends waiting to be forged. Imagine the realms of the past, rich with history and untapped potential. The Beasts of Chaos will return, more ferocious and unstoppable than ever. So, let's look forward to the future with hope. Let's cherish the memories we've made and eagerly anticipate the chaos to come. The war drums will beat again, the horns will blare, and the wild hunt will resume. To every Warhammer fan out there, remember the spirit of the Beasts of Chaos isn't tied to a single age or realm. It's eternal. It's part of what makes this community so vibrant and resilient. Thank you for being part of this journey. Here's to many more battles, many more victories, and countless more stories to tell. Stay strong, stay wild, and prepare for the next chapter in the saga of the Beasts of Chaos. Until we meet again in the old world, this is a tribute to the wild, the untamed, the Beasts of Chaos. For the herd, for the hunt, for the chaos, stay tuned, and may your dice rolls be ever in your favor. Keep the chaos alive, my friends. Outro music fades in.
Luis, exactamente, vato. Bellicor es 100%. Absolutely, man. I think he's 100% taker in Slaves of Darkness list. But, that's not really what you got in your list tonight, though, dude. But, there's a couple of different ways. Now, before we get into your list, but yeah, we're going to be talking about Slaves of Darkness with our guest, Sean Soiree, who's back in the flesh and sober. I think that deserves a round of applause that he's actually here with us sober and he's not actually, blocking anyone with carts and chugging vodka. Although that was wonderful. But yeah, we're going to be talking about his list here, how to play competitively with the Slaves of Darkness. But I do want to talk a little bit about Slaves of Darkness because I think what's interesting is, Dustin, you play them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm playing them now. That's my army through the entire General's Handbook for this year. I'm devoted to playing them. And Bill, I mean, you were always a Beast Chaos player. That was always your jam. But where are you at with Slaves of Darkness?
You know what? I've been reviewing them slightly because obviously when they do Legend out Beast of Chaos in 2025, I'm going to make some conversions.
Yeah.
That's basically where I'm at.
There are a lot of
they do
analogs
transcribe
that,
over
yeah.
rather nicely, yeah.
Oh, I see. So you're talking about taking like your Bestigors and your Beast
Bestigors being your
Chosen and all that, yeah. Just put them on 40 mil bases.
Straight up, because you can mix Gores and Ungors in for
Dragon Ogres, Varangard.
Yeah, right. You have to change the bases on those Dragon Ogres, though.
Yes. Dragon Ogres do have larger bases than
What's wrong with 3-inch bases?
No,
Camille, what's your thoughts on 3 inches?
3 inches is enough.
Right now every nerd has just left the show. They're in the bathroom. The Kleenex box is getting emptied out. I could just, the water's running all day. Say it one more time.
3 inches is enough.
There you go. All right.
See, Sean's happy.
Now say in Portuguese.
I can
So,
only do it in
but-
Lithuanian.
But yeah, so I for me.
Time out. I want to hear Lithuanian.
All right, hold on. All right, in Lithuanian, here we go.
Trisenčiai gerai.
I get it, too. I want to have to work myself.
Okay, back
In the background, everybody right now, every nerd right now listening to the show, this is all I'm hearing. All right.
Just gonna mark this down for.
We'll be here every Tuesday, folks.
Gobble, gobble,
This is what
folks.
you come here for.
Tip the veal, try the waitresses.
Yes.
Until we get
All
rated.
rails were gone. As soon as you opened the show.
But right now I'm kind of on a weird kick with trying out Abraxia. I think Abraxia.
Abraxia, yep.
Yeah, man. The thing is with Varangard, and I kind of stole the idea from you because you were the first one, Dustin, using Abraxia.
I saw that model and it's just yes.
Yeah.
But for AFD I had.
Well, you had Abraxia, and how many units of Varangard?
I only had 2. I had a unit of 6 and a unit of 3, so it was only 9. So then I had Sorcerer Lord on Manicore, and then 2 units Cast Warriors.
Right.
So it wasn't a full Varangard list, just to give me some more like flexibility. But if you're gonna use Varangard, absolutely take Abraxia because the utility you get with her there is awesome, but also just her as a character, she's very, very
Now,
powerful.
as somebody who has not been reading too much into it until the conversion takes place, what's Abraxia's stats? What's the ability?
Done. Let him have it.
I'm
so glad you're so prepared.
I'm so prepared.
Hey, get that off your phone. He was looking at a different kind of website. No, so Abraxia right now, she's got a 10-inch move. She's got 14 wounds. She controls at a 5, and she's a 3+ save. All right, take it over, man.
Got a ward? No ward?
Actually,
a 5-up ward.
She has a 5-up ward. Yeah.
So she's nasty. How many points?
360, I believe.
She is 360.
She got any passive abilities, or are they all active?
She has a passive ability, yes, and her passive ability is Warlord of the First Circle. And what this is if a friendly Varangard unit, this is sweet as hell. If a Varangard unit uses the Relentless Killer's ability while it's wholly within 12 inches of this unit, that unit does not have to strike last as a result of that ability.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
So that means those Varangard are striking first
right
again and again. And that's a beautiful thing. You want to talk about liquidating that enemy unit in front of you.
Oof.
Correct.
How many points was she? 460?
360.
360.
360.
That's an auto take without a
3-up
doubt.
save, 5-up board.
That is an auto take.
Also, she's very, very interesting because
That's rowdy. 360.
Yeah.
That's what a Varangard.
310 for 3.
Yeah.
Went up 10 points.
So basically, you're just running her right behind the Varangard.
Yep. And I mean, she has some interesting things too because she has passive Blood of Molten Varanite. Each time damage point inflicted by a combat attack is located this unit on a 4-up, inflict 1 mortal damage on the attacking unit.
Yeah, right.
So you could, sure, okay, you do a bunch of damage to her, and then you take a bunch of mortal wounds back. But
Right.
the very, very interesting thing is her spear.
Gorbloga.
Gorbloga.
Why do I always think of gobbledygoo?
Gobbledygook, yeah. But each combat phase, you roll a d6 and see what happens. On a 1, she takes damage point. On a 2, nothing happens. 3 to 5, you add 1 to the damage characteristic. On a 6, you add 1 to the damage characteristic, and it has crit mortal. So she normally has 2 damage, plus 1 damage on the charge. And then if you do a 6, she's doing 4 damage a hit, crit mortal. Like, amazing.
And Ren 3 against heroes.
Ren 3 against heroes. She's great.
And again, even though she's not going to be in the list that we're going to be talking about tonight, I mean, it's something. It's a different way that you can look at the. Now, here's the thing. I'm glad that we're able to kind of have a Slaves of Darkness discussion tonight because 2-3 weeks ago, my original list that I had of slaves was Be'lakor, and I had 3 units of Reinforced Chosen.
Now, didn't they just raise Be'lakor's points?
Oh yeah, everybody. Be'lakor went up 30
30
points. Chosen went up. So now, so 3 weeks ago, my list is, as I said, it was Be'lakor and 3 units of Reinforced Chosen. Now it's a slow army, but it did the job for a little while. That was 1910, 3 weeks ago. But with all the points increases and everything that was happening, it now is exactly 2,000 points. But see, what's happened is, as we've learned 4th edition and we've gotten into the game a little bit more, and Sean, you're going to talk about this because I'm kind of looking at your list. You've got a couple of speedy units in your list. Speed is we're back to 2nd edition AOS again. Speed kills. You got to have speed, and I love the fact that I can say again, you got to have things in your army that can get to shit, stand on shit, and kill shit. Mm-hmm. That's what you need in the game. But anyway, I cut you off. So Abrexia, sorry, I cut you off.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, that was it. I mean, she's very, 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 very good, like, force multiplier if you're running Varangard. But also, just her by herself, she's a good beat stick. Now, she is unique, so you cannot give her, command traits or artifacts or anything like that, but also she doesn't need them.
Right.
But also, she's not a war master, so she does not have to be the general either.
Exactly.
So you
well,
can
that's
have a general, and she's just there.
Having her just go rogue would be just enough because just her base attacks with the gobbledygook
that's a
here.
distinct advantage because now, like, what is it? They still got slated general stuff like that for tactics, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So hugely advantageous. Once she's only 360 points, she has all these crazy abilities. She's got a 5-up ward, 3-up save. She could just be. You could just turn her loose on her own, and she's nasty. Yep. What was it? 10-inch move? Fly?
10-inch
no
move,
fly?
yeah.
No flying, but 10-inch move.
Yeah, no fly.
That's still nasty.
And she, her mount isn't a slouch either.
So she's still got mount attacks as well?
Wow.
Yeah.
5 attacks.
Well,
and then 6 attacks for the mount, which is, pretty good. And then I forgot the rampages. What is it? You choose a enemy hero in combat with her on a 3-up, -1 in the attacks characteristic.
And I've always said before on the show, and I'm kind of eating my words here with this, is every time GW came out with a really cool model, kind of like the Stormcast dude on a dragon, or it sucks. It doesn't really do anything.
The rules would suck.
This is the one model I think that just maybe eat my words. This if you guys get a chance, if you don't know who Abraxia is, look up the miniature itself, look up the model. They've actually done it. They're able to shut me up because
of course you got the Gore Warden, was super cool looking.
Yeah.
Terrible.
They unveiled that model and it's just like, oh good, GW, this is something I've literally wanted forever. And then the rules for the end of 3rd edition were a little weird, but
we're beyond that now, man. We're beyond that now. You know what? The past is like your ass, Dustin. Leave it behind you because it stinks. Move on, man.
We quite literally closed those books. One, we spent a lot of money on them, and now they're pointless.
Oh, don't start with the bitter gamer thing, Bill. You don't need to do that, man.
Lore and artwork.
Tears of sorrow.
Lore and artwork.
And centerfolds.
Yeah.
Wait, we're talking about the AOS book. Sorry.
I mean, I have the Daughters of Cain books.
We also sell plug-in centerfolds eventually at SigmarSingles.com.
Hey, where again, Bill?
SigmarSingles.com.
How many views have we gotten on SigmarSingles.com?
We've gotten 60. And we've done no advertising. Other than here.
You know what?
So I want to give a big round of applause to everybody who went to the website. I apologize. I'm trying to put together a team right now to put all the things we've been joking about actually into the website.
Putting together a team.
You know what? I love that. I really do. I love that. So I mean, there's different ways you can play the army. And to get back to my point before I kind of went off on a weird, perverted tangent was I thought before GW is also historically very notorious for blowing Slaves of Darkness up. Remember the couple editions ago, right before 3rd edition with the winter points increase and all. They've always kind of made sure that they
had all those Hoarfrost and all that other stuff.
Right, you said Hoarfrost. You said Hoarfrost, didn't you?
Right, yeah. I mean, we're not talking about Chicago midwinter, but we are talking about
right. And so the thing is I just think that for once they actually we came out of this unscathed. I think we're better. And Luis, I really think Bellicor might be second on this one, man. I really do because I think Abraxia could be the winner chicken dinner. I think
for points and for what she does. Because what's Bellicor's attack profile in combat? I mean,
not very good. Not very. Let's put it this way: he ain't no Abraxia.
He ain't no Abraxia. See, that's my thing. He ain't no Abraxia, and he costs more points. Yeah.
Right.
Well, he's also he has a lot more utility. Though.
He can shut a character down. Yeah. He can do a lot of pretty nifty shit.
He can spells down after the hero phase, so you can still get like cast off and special hero phase stuff. But movement, you got to roll.
It just sounds like for the utility of Abraxia.
Shooting, you can shut down. All right, so he's got Blade of Shadows. 8 attacks.
We're talking about a Bellicor right now.
3x3s, 2s and 2s. Crit does auto wound, and then his claw. 2 attacks, 2+, 2+, 2 and 2. Charging at +1 damage, so 3 damage.
Right.
If he takes 10 or more points, his attack goes to 6 on the sword.
Right.
Or blade of the sword.
Yeah.
Shadow, sorry.
So I mean, look, Bellacor's not a slouch. No, I mean, look, I run him in my list right now. I'm still getting Abraxia together. As a matter of fact, that's actually not even true either. I just got her today. But like I said, I was just going through a lot of her stats and kind of looking. And I always try to compare anything I'm fighting against anything with a 3+ save. Right. You kind of got to look at that is where you're at. And but I really think her with a bunch of Erengard, you're not going to have a bad game. And again, okay, so magic is a thing, right? We need her endless spells. So in one list, I think I was taking her with 4 units of Erengard, Abraxia,
reinforced
a chaos
Erengard with her right behind him. That's
and a chaos sorcerer lord just on foot, running around to cast spells and stuff. And then just to be a prick, just for a nuisance, I had one of those ogre therodons, running around with it.
You know what? That is a cool model. At least they are good.
Yeah, I like the fact that we have chaos ogres back.
Yes.
I mean, we have them in the old world now too, but
Minotaurs,
but they're chaos ogres.
Essentially.
Ogroid.
Yeah. Chaos ogres. It's great.
Oh, it says Ogroid, Sean.
Listen, GW is not known for creativity.
True.
For instance,
yes, but they have ogre faces. They don't have bull faces.
That's okay. They have horns like Minotaurs do.
Yeah, but not everything with horns.
I mean, technically, so do you for the right price, but that's not what we're discussing.
Yeah, I mean, anything with horns can be considered horny.
So,
yeah.
Or do you just go all in on Varngard and Abraxia? You have 2 units of 6, and you have a unit of 3.
How much is a chaos sorcerer on foot?
120.
So now, kind of like what we were discussing, I think it was off camera, about just running a straight cav list. If you had the Varengard, Abraxia, a summoner just kind of walking around, and you have cavalry doing, like pincer moves or wheeling around, catching them on the flanks.
Some people like the Dark Oath for that. Chaos Knights are a little more expensive.
Right.
My theory with my list, I really wish they had a Chaos Sorcerer on horse or demonic mount.
There has been in the past.
There has been in the past. I can only hope.
Well, you can take a Gaunt Summoner on disc, and it can keep up with them.
Yeah.
And this is 2 cast.
The problem I had with the Sorcerer Lord is, he wouldn't be able to keep up with, all the Varengard. So that's why it's a lot more points, but I went with a Sorcerer Lord on Mana Core.
Right.
Because then that way my spellcaster could keep up with.
But I think if you have a 120-point little sorcerer on foot, no one's going to be bothering with him.
Yes.
Because they got Varengard to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
correct.
I think he's going to be all right. He may just survive the whole game with his single casting ability. But there you go, Haroon. I decided to show everyone on here so that you didn't look at Sean all sad waiting to get into his list. But Sean, you ready to get into your list?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the list. All right.
Oh wow, we're still not there. Okay.
So no, are you upset, Bill? Do you need to be on camera?
Huh?
Anybody on the chat there? Do we want to see Bill on camera? Does everyone want to see? All right, let's keep going with the list here, man. So let's get into this. So Sean, we got your list here. It's 2,000 points exactly. And this is what you're currently playing. I mean, you've got your Slaves of Darkness, your God's Wrath Warband. You got a 2-drop on this thing. Your spell lore is a Lore of the Damned. And manifestation lore is Morbid Conjuration. So let's get into this. So let's start right at the top, man. You got a Demon Prince who's leading your army. Give us a little thoughts on how you built him and what he's doing for your army.
Gave him wings. He's more support piece. I gave him Radiance of Dark Glory, so that -5 from infantry control of your opponent. He's already a 5, so...
That's the Conqueror's Crown.
Yes. Sorry, Radiance of Dark Glory is
best command trait in the game.
Roll 3+ at the start of every hero phase for every unit within 12, wholly within 12. You heal 1. If it's a monster, you heal 3, which is very, very good. It's kind of like the auto take for most casts.
It's really good, but it's also like only access to healing, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, pretty much.
Outside of rally,
you can't rally Varngard.
You can. It's not going to be very effective
unless you have loaded dice.
Well,
there you go. I mean,
there you go. And someone else painted your army for you.
Yeah.
All right, we're back to that again. All right.
A 4-up on 5 out of 6 dice to bring one back.
Yeah,
it's gonna be rough.
Something interesting here. Now, I've known you to play Demon Princes in just about all of your Chaos armies, but for the first time, I'm noticing on here you've got wings on them. The Nurgle thing with you, Sean, was a total given. I knew that you were going to go the route of Nurgle, but you got wings on them. Huh?
Tinkerbell. It was the old I actually got it from a buddy of mine.
Stinkerbell.
My old buddy Chris. I bought his some miniatures off of him, and he had Stinkerbell. It was the old 40K Demon Prince, and he took the wings from the plague drones, and he painted them purple.
I mean, technically speaking, we have our own Stinkerbell in studio.
And we do.
It's true.
We do.
He's talking about me. We're gonna steal the thunder.
So anyway, Stinkerbell, I couldn't find it, so I found my old one I had back from the last 3,000 point fantasy tournament I was at. So I found him and just put a round base on him.
So we got Stinkerbell in the list. This is your general that's leading this thing, and so let's keep it rolling here. So you got your general's regiment with the obvious. You got a unit of Chaos Warriors, which is an interesting take in this day and age with Slaves to Darkness. But maybe I'm just ignorant on it right now.
So hold up, you know the thing where you need something to sit on something.
Oh yeah,
Chaos Warriors can sit on
something.
Well, especially Mark and Nurgle.
You sit on something and then it's kind of poking you. You know that thing? Sit on something, it's an eggplant. Move on.
So
basically,
okay, I'm back.
They'll sit on there. And
explain to everyone here real quick though the Mark and Nurgle. What is that for a lot of people that maybe don't really know Slaves of Darkness? Explain what that does.
All right, so that's the constant. As long as you're in combat, that's -1 to wound in combat.
-1 to wound in combat. So that's you're going to want that.
Very, very.
100%.
I mean, how many units are out there?
What are the other chaos traits so that would work well? Because it seems like Nurgle always has the best one, which is either one you get the.
A lot of people
Khorne is pretty good on mounted like charging.
Khorne
is pretty good.
Attack when you charge.
The last edition, you had the banners for Chosen.
Here's my thing about it: if it's +1 to attack when you charge, but that's very specific to when you charge. So if somebody gets a counter charge off you, Khorne shut off. The Nurgle trait.
Well, as long as you, if you did get the charge, you would get it.
Some wizards get +1 to cast.
No, if only it was that good.
Against mortal wounds by spells.
Oh, you get to roll off.
It's
a war against mortals, basically.
But it's only against mortal wounds from spells, which.
Again, super situation.
So.
Yeah.
But Zeech has always been so when they're not.
It was actually pretty good before the last.
It's a Slaves of Darkness thing for Zeech. I mean, Zeech used to be pretty. Well, I'm gonna get into it right now.
Zeech used to be really good.
It used to be a 5
as far as the marks
go.
No,
sorry, it was like reroll ones on armor.
Reroll ones
before 3rd edition book.
Because the way Joseph explained this Slanesh one was me. You basically get nipple tassels and that's it.
Yeah, nipple tassels. That's it.
Plus
and
one to charge,
and a thong, a reversible
charge.
thong. That in some games is edible.
That sounds like you know what? I see why he takes that every time.
And the thing is,
that's why he gets best opponent every time because he gives everyone just that little.
And it explains why Joseph is so popular in tournaments too.
I'm telling you.
Of course, he disappears for half a game. We don't know where he went. Everyone comes back smiling. It's kind of strange.
That's why the hobby score should be separate from the actual game score.
Dustin, do you want to comment on any of this?
I have been.
Okay. So, you still have that bustier that he gave you?
I keep it in a trunk at the foot of my bed.
Well, lovely. Okay, good. All right. So so now you've got your unit still sticking with the general's regiment here. You've got your Baron Guard. You got a reinforced unit of them, also in Nurgle, which again I'm going to agree with everybody here. I think that Nurgle is definitely the way to mark anything in a Slaves of Darkness army. Really,
you're going to be in melee, so
sure,
make it harder for your opponent.
And Dustin, you and I just talked about this. And Sean, this is your time, dude. I'll make this point, but it was right before you got here. We were talking about this. What is it, like 35% is you're actually making a charge. The rest of the time, you're in combat.
You're sitting in combat.
So you might as well do something that's going to get
you.
Well,
the thing is, if you roll bad, like we've all rolled bad before.
Like our game on Saturday.
I just sucked all those 6s right out of you.
True, true. So, okay, let's keep going on this. You got your Chaos Warriors. They're sitting on shit. They got Nurgle. It's -1 to hit.
Yep.
You got your Vanguard. Same thing. Reinforced. But you know what this list actually kind of looks like? It looks like you're really playing to a lot of the battle traits.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm playing for like, hey, you got 2 things to deal with. Good luck.
You're talking about
multi-threat,
double threat. They're both pretty damn tough. Sorry, darn tough.
That's right.
How dare you?
Oh, you're talking about your Chosen and your Vanguard.
Yeah.
So basically, you're just using your Chaos Warriors. You're plopping them on an objective, and they're just there. And go ahead and move them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I like it.
So, and then what I like to call is the regiment number 1. It's got the Gaunt Summoners, I like to call it the Slingshot Me, Ricky Bobby. So basically, the Gaunt Summoner has the ability called the Silver Tower. You put a unit in there.
2 casting.
And he's a double caster, which is nice because I don't have Bellicor in the list.
Right.
So he's my double caster.
But yeah, for 170 points for a double caster, that's not bad at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. And he's on foot. You're not talking about this is him on foot, not the disc.
This is him on foot. This is him on foot. So basically, he's got the Silver Tower. It's normally 12 wholly within 12, and 9 away from an enemy. But he's got a spell that goes off on a 6, where it goes to wholly within 18 and 7 away. So I'm just going to slingshot the Chosen if I get the spell off.
That's
7 away from that, wholly within 18.
Yeah.
You put him in the center, you got 2/3 of the table covered, pretty much.
Right. And it's funny. Just Luis, just on the chat just now, just literally took the thought out of my own head. He said that the Raptor X's were kind of a surprise. And I just said that to you the other day. We were talking about your list.
The thing is,
I was surprised to see that.
The Raptor are the cheaper version, the poor man's version of
the Furies.
Of Furies that went up 10 points.
Right.
They don't go as fast. They're only a 10-inch charge. They have 2 wounds. And they're beasts, so they can only have max of 1 control. But I don't use them for that.
So you're pretty much using them as mainly for that right away. That first battle.
Center
tactic,
right? Hold the center. Take the center.
What about the 6 inches off the table? That's almost
take the flanks.
Yeah.
Maybe go grab a piece of terrain, or if worse comes to worse, use them as a screen or bait.
Very good screen.
Use them for bait.
So speaking of bait, the last game that we played what was the mission? It was Jaws of Golay, I think. Speaking of bait, so I had 10 Bloodstalkers, which are the archer snakes, and he put the Raptorixes on a piece of terrain, and I'm like, okay, first turn, let me go ahead and remove those, because I figured you're going to use them for, take their land or whatever. And then we realized the forest they were hiding in was
obscuring.
So I couldn't shoot them. Oh. So now I had to worry about these Raptorixes on my flank that I couldn't see until I got into melee with them. And that was kind of an annoying problem.
I mean, but they're not much in melee, but you had to deal with them.
I had to deal with them.
Yeah. I also used them for bait against Ed in my earlier game, because that was the first time I played the list, was the game before I played you when I played Ed, in that same day. He was running his dragon list, and I went with my Vanguard to go charge in his hero on dragon, like the character, I don't know the guy's name. Someone help me out. I feel dirty.
Stormcast.
I feel dirty.
Stormcast. Oh, the hero dragon guy. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Everyone knows what we're talking about.
And he had a unit of 2 on the flank of the table, and I lined my Raptorix up in a straight line, and he went to charge, and then he did his roll over into my Vanguard, and I went, okay, I'm activating twice, killed the hero, went right back to the dragon, so it was like a twofer. So.
Yeah, and what's funny, when I look at this list, when I kind of break it down, and again, and tell me if I'm wrong here, Sean, but I'm digesting this as we kind of go along. You got your Demon Prince. Your Demon Prince really is he's gonna buff some units. He's gonna
depending if I do place him in the Silver Tower, he's gonna try to give the Vanguard a roll.
Right.
Because it's in the hero phase, and you deploy the Silver Tower in the moving phase.
But he's got a 12-inch move. He can ignore terrain. All of that good stuff. Now, with your Chaos Chosen, they're in a way, your Chaos Chosen are kind of like your warriors on steroids if they want to go stand on something, right? Yep. I mean, they got a 5-inch move. They're not going anywhere very fast, but again, they have to be dealt with. Mm-hmm. So what I'm seeing here, just as my appraisal of what you've got here, between the Chosen and the warriors, they're either killing shit or standing on shit. They're not getting to shit. That's what they're doing.
Well, also with the warriors, they're there to help protect the Gaunt Summoner until I get the Chosen out, because I don't feel like losing 620 points.
Now, is that your what do they call it? The general's?
No.
Drawing a blank here.
My Honor Guard is actually.
Honor Guard, thank you.
The Honor Guard is actually the Chosen, meaning because I can give them rend on the charge for infantry. I gave them, for you, I gave them the infantry. For Ed, I gave them monster. I gave them cavalry. It just, okay, whatever most of your stuff is, I'll give them an extra round on the charge, which is good.
Got it. So that
It'll be Ren 1, but normally Ren 2. Well, Ren 2 on that, plus hopefully give them either another Ren for Eye of the Gods, because with the, either killing something or getting the 3-up on the Demon. I think I've got it maybe 2-3 times in both games. I was rolling bad on that.
Sure. But back to the point I'm trying to look at here as one of your main functional tactics, I guess, is what I'm trying to do, is you're really spreading your opponent's army out on the table because you're leaving these pockets of something they have to deal with. And unfortunately, and for them, you've got everything marked in Nurgle. It's going to be -1 to hit on that aspect right there. When most of the armies out there are 4, especially destruction. How'd you like to be an ogre player and have it be 5+ to hit the son of a bitch? That would suck.
Or Guards of Cain having to roll a wound on 5s.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. But then your Varangard are your fast movers. You've got your Raptor X's. They're moving around and either making battle tactics for you or taking objectives.
Screen, base some stuff out, help maybe get a counter charge from the bait with the Chosen or the,
Yeah, and I think it's smart that you're gonna, but in a way you're spreading yourself out as well. But you have units that can. I mean, if you think about it, Chosen with a 3+ save, you go all out defense on them. They're 2+ now. They hit harder than Winter on welfare. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. Your Chaos Warriors, they're just going to be Chaos Warriors. Are they a 4+ or 3+ save?
3+.
They're a 3+ save.
Everything that has armor in that army, minus the Wizards, is a 3-up.
Okay. So was I kind of right on that, or was that not your thinking?
I mean, Chaos is very, very tough. Nurgle makes them just a little bit more tougher in combat.
Yeah.
I may not be able to rally, roll 5 or more, 5 out of 6 dice are 4+ to bring back the Varangard, but I can roll 7 dice because I got a musician in the Chosen, maybe get 1 or 2 back.
Okay.
So it's kind of,
Big deal, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a big deal.
Drums. He's a drummer.
What kind of drums?
Elf skin.
Elf skin?
I was going to say baritone, like a
Seems
snare.
like it'd be a little tinny.
A snare drum.
Yeah. You're talking about the head? Like, what is it made out of? Orcas.
Orcas.
Oh,
That'd be really basic.
Yeah.
Real basic.
It would. It would. I mean, think about that. But, I
I
like the list a lot. Now,
that would technically mean it's a vegetarian drum.
A vegan drum?
It's a vegan drum.
That'd be Rhinox side.
No.
Slaves of Darkness is known for their PETA. They
people eating tasty animals.
Amen.
Yes.
I love it. Exactly.
I mean, if you look at the old Chaos Warhounds, they look like they had a bite mark out of them.
They did. Yeah. So let's go back. So you played this list obviously before. I've seen a version of this list, but this wasn't the actual list that I've seen. Like
this is the one from Saturday.
This is the one that you brought from this. Really? Okay.
I guess it's still in the car.
I guess I was drunker. I was drunker than I thought I was at my own grilling.
See, he's just saying some stuff. Like I can handle my alcohol.
For everybody.
And a cart at the same time, and 2 guys trying to get around it to get their booze back. Yeah, during a major event. I get it.
I thought they were lesbians.
No, that was another one. That's another one. But, folks, we're going to wait for the next time Sean's on the show, and we're going to tell that 40K story because...
This is the last time I'll be on the show?
And I'll be honest with you. Here's the thing. Sean's kind of like the Grimdark. He's kind of like our red tick coon out. I mean, you don't really want to let him in the house. You know he's going to break. He's going to drink all the booze and probably pee on the floor. But you know what? He'll keep the raccoons out.
Hey, I'm house trained.
And he sleeps underneath the porch. That's who Sean is really to this day.
I will give Sean credit. He did not piss on the floor this time.
Where did he piss?
In the yard.
Okay, well that's fine. Okay.
I was watering the plants. They look a little dry.
Yeah, they're yellow. Jesus.
So
I mean, everything, Dad. What did he drink?
Why are my neighbors moving?
He's pissing fire.
Hey! Gotta make the Nurgle trees grow, okay?
That's true. Can you imagine that? He's like, John, piss out the fire.
Yeah, exactly. So Bill, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, you've been kind of looking at the list. You've been kind of listening to this at least some of the sensible dialogue we had before we went off the...
I'm trying to think of a way how you get around this Varangard and Braxia nonsense. For that, because obviously I don't play... I mean, naturally, once 2025 comes, I'll be looking at something similar, assuming they haven't changed the rules completely by then by GW, so it could be tomorrow.
Yeah, who knows?
But generally speaking, I'm trying to think about, from an opponent perspective, because the problem is they all move fast.
Right.
They hit hard. And if he's got his screens moving around the sides, it makes it a very difficult list to contend with, generally speaking.
At least that I found is dealing with target priority, because it's like I have to deal with the Vanguard, but now there's also Chosen to deal with. Like, do I try and go after your Gaunt Summoner? Do I try and go after your Demon Prince? And target priority is a problem, and that's a good problem to have.
Well, see,
your opponent thinking about.
It's at a premium with his list.
Yeah,
and that's the issue.
That's a good point. And that coupled with spreading your as an opponent, getting your army spread all over the table, Sean. I mean, that's it. I guess for me, I'm trying to think what would be a good counter to this list.
See, that's what I was thinking while you guys were chit chatting.
Flying, the drive-by dwarves would probably be a very good counter.
Shooting. Okay, like KO, you mean?
Yeah, because you making me roll dice is a bad thing. Same thing like years ago, like with Terminators and 2-up saves.
Is you rolling dice, because everything on here pretty much got a 3+ save. So you're saying you rolling dice is a bad Sean thing, like Sean's, like the dice gods haven't blessed your sweaty palms yet, or is it
pure numbers will make me fail?
Okay.
Weight of attacks, yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Okay,
like when you go back to like old school and like 40k old school.
We're right
100
back
flashlights against a Terminator, you're going to roll ones.
We're right back to Noblars are the greatest unit in the game. Weight of attacks, too many to contend with.
You know, Nobblers are such the greatest unit in the game that we actually have one in the studio with us tonight.
They're
we
so
actually have one of
good.
the most
Nobody
famous
uses
Nobblers
them.
with
He's been a
us.
little salty today, though.
Well, that's a Nobbler for
He
you.
skipped nap time. He threw his apple juice.
Nope.
Nope. He's not happy with us.
Nope. All right, we're done. He's not interested. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's much right now in the game. I mean, you might get a good.
Well, you get like the Lumineth or.
Well, not even so much Lumineth. I was going to think more along the lines of. Now I'm drawing a blank. I got Lumineth stuck in my head. The dead dudes. The
Soulblight?
No, not Soulblight. Not Soulblight. Not Nighthaunt. But
vampires.
Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Yes, thank you very much. Holy God, somewhere between the
Reflect
beer
on
house
all
and the
the death
bongos, and I'll
armies.
get it figured
We'll
out. Yeah,
figure
right.
it out eventually.
I'll eventually just say yes. No, it.
Why were we playing on Jeopardy?
Wow. No, I think that army would probably be a good counter, but I don't think it would. I think it would turn into a rugby scrum somewhere in the middle of the table. I'm trying to think who else.
From AFD, what I can tell you was a very good counter was Skaven. The list I ended up playing against.
True.
The guy, I don't remember his name unfortunately, but he had a Vermin Lord that would just bounce around. Could basically choose whatever combat he wanted. He had a whole bunch of shooting, and then he had like 2 units of 40 Clan Rats. And it's just like he had screens and could shoot me to death and also choose where to have his Vermin Lord go.
Yeah.
And he picked me apart. It was probably the worst I did because it was such a hard counter to Varangard and Araxia.
And Luis, I'm gonna pick on you again here. Your comment in the chats is right. I mean, Blissbarb archers, yeah, but you probably need a shit ton of them. You'd probably need maybe 2 reinforced units to really do any kind of damage. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Slaanesh, Blissbarb. I mean, Joseph runs.
Yeah, you also run
Joseph
an issue.
runs.
Yeah, but then you run an issue where it's a very specific army for a very
There you
specific
go.
cause.
Right.
So it might do great against Varangard, but against another army, that's maybe faster or just
And you don't want to be top heavy with one type of synergy, and if you go all shooting, eventually something somewhere is going to get into close combat with you.
Yes.
And we know that archers and
unless
stuff
you
don't
literally
do very
know
well.
your opponents ahead of time, you're just kind of weighing your odds.
Right. So I mean, I think it's really just and again too, we can't forget that this is still a dice game, right? I mean, law of averages are going to dictate on that. The only thing we can control is setup and movement. Anything before and after that is based on the dice gods. But Sean, walk us away from this one, man. I love this list.
so
I really do. Like this is one of the few.
It actually gives me
that's
one
actually
thing
damn good.
that I have that Chaos really doesn't have unless you take the Darth Oath Cavalry with throwing spears or whatever. You actually get to shoot.
Sure.
You actually get a little shooting attack from the Gaunt Summoner.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, yeah. So, but this list doesn't need much more. I think that even if you roll somewhat well, I think this list is going to be very good to you.
I mean,
I do. I think it's
the
a very
2 units that
forgiving
I
list.
really care about are going to be killing stuff, so they'll be rolling on the Eye of the Gods to buff them even more. For the most, hopefully, try to get the ward saves out to make them last longer.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then I think my Varangard were Ren 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Ren 3 in both of my games.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it.
And also, I mean, when this guy rolls hot with his
3 up on the armor and a red 3.
yeah, when he rolls hot with his crit mortals at AFD, he did 21 mortal wounds to my Varangard unit.
It was 38 damage. 21 of that was straight mortal wounds.
Wow.
So
at 3 damage apiece, so that was 7
Yeah.
6s rolled off of 18
so this is why I can't play
dice.
Sean anymore, because he steals all my 6s.
I suck him out.
Well, you're also a 50-50. And guys, I'll say this right now for Dustin, as we're kind of closing out here, this review of the Slaves of Darkness list. But Dustin's one of those guys where, I swear to God, if you put 100 dice in his hand, the first roll, he'll roll 100 6s, maybe 76s and 35s. The very next time, he'll roll 100 1s. It's the most amazing, and there's nothing in between.
It's
There's
terrible.
nothing in between.
That was my game against Sean on Saturday. Like
That's been your game every game.
Yeah, I know. But like, I'm playing Daughters of Cain. I have Snake units and Marathi Cain, that have crit mortal. It's just no, you're not gonna roll any 6s this game. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, no.
Well, Sean, awesome list, man. I really like this list a lot, and I really do. And as a now a newer fellow Slaves of Darkness player, I'm going to be kind of leaning on you for some advice moving forward. But even though we're kind of going in a different direction, I'm really leaning towards Abraxia right now because I like Be'lakor.
Well, I have a Abraxia list. It's 2 reinforced Varangard and a 3-man and her in the special regiment.
Yeah. Okay.
It's 40,
I mean,
it's
again,
1940.
I think a lot of people, and I'm going to steal your words here, Dustin. I'm totally ripping you off right now. That I think people are sleeping on Abraxia right now.
I think so.
Right. Well, you said it first. I'm just ripping you off.
Well, just having reviewed it today, that's wild. It's not taking every list.
Gosh, I mean, if you're going to run Varangard, there's basically no reason not to bring her because
for the points from what the
she's
value
going to
you get,
make
it's wild.
their effectiveness just go, way up.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, just do the nothing but gas list. It's her 2 units of 6, a unit of 3. You could do 3 units of 3 if you wanted to. Maybe make some corn.
Make some corn, throw some potatoes.
Because like you can actually give them a bonus or a buff, if you will, for them.
Bonus is the brown
like in the Swords of Chaos list, like you can give them enhancements. You have Betrayers of the Anvil King. They get a 6 upward.
Yeah, like each unit gets a different buff.
Yeah, there's like a bunch. There's like 4. You can have one per each different unit.
Right.
You can have Tamers of Something's Torment. I can't pronounce this. Harada's Torment. It makes your horses deal more damage.
Well, the horses always do better than the riders, anyways. I mean, whatever the mount is.
So your Vanguard would be -1, 2 damage on the horse.
Well,
like they hit on 3s, wound on 3s. They have 3 attacks.
That's why Centaurs are awesome. You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
They are the rider and the horse.
Exactly. And they
you get the Black Storm Apostates or something like that. Now they're moving at 13 inches.
Oh, nice.
And then you got the Grimroot Order. You add +1 to the unit's health cards, so now they're 6 wounds.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And the last one is the Hounds of the Apocalyptus?
Eucalyptus?
Eucalyptus?
Apocalyptus.
Is that a weed or a flower? Kidding.
While it's wholly within enemy territory, you add 1 to the attack characteristics of this melee weapon. So I mean, it's there's some fun stuff you can do.
There is, and I think any way you go with Slaves of Darkness, for the most part, I think you're going to do okay. I mean, I think this list also plays very well to battle tactics. I think it's a good list. But Sean, thanks for bringing it in, man.
Yeah.
Folks, we'll be right back.
Why do legions of Warhammer enthusiasts find love on sigmasingles.com? Because nothing says romance like a perfectly painted miniature. Greetings, esteemed connoisseurs of the miniature battlefield. Are you tired of your armies standing alone without a fellow general to share in your victories? Fear not, sigmasingles.com is your one-stop sanctuary for love and war. Hammer. Here, you can post personal ads seeking that perfect partner who appreciates a well-crafted figurine as much as you do. Buy and sell your Warhammer miniatures and trading cards, whether it's single models or entire armies, but the piece de resistance? The chance to connect with like-minded individuals who understand the art of strategic conquest, both on and off the battlefield. So why wait? Join sigmasingles.com today and may your dice rolls always be in your favor. Because in the game of love, everyone deserves a critical hit.
All right, here it is, man. Another show getting close to being wrapped up. And Sean, I want to thank you very much for coming in and talking about Slaves of Darkness. I mean, that list was so scary. You scared Bill off, man. Look, he's gone. He ran away. He's not there.
So I do have one regret at Armed Forces Day this year. So it was game 2, and I was playing the drive-by dwarves, as I like to call them. Because that's kind of what they do. Right. And I made a 10-inch charge with my Vanguard. That list was 2 units of 5 Knights, 6 Vanguard, Bellicor, 2 units of Legionnaires, and a Sorcerer Lord.
Right.
And I charged in with a Vanguard on a 10-inch charge. I think it was a counter charge, if I remember correctly. And he said, good game. I'm like, no, let's play it out. I was an idiot. I should have just taken the free win, walked away.
Oh.
And I wouldn't have had... Potentially, I probably may have gone 3-0, or maybe would have had a better chance of getting past Chaos, but day 2 was just... It was bad and it's too hot for me.
You know what?
So.
And that's sometimes tournaments for you. I mean, sometimes the environment itself of a tournament can do you in more than your own opponent. I mean, it really depends. And remember, folks, we've changed the name to Armed Forces Day, or AFD, to now we're Brawl in the Halls. So look out for that. But in the meantime, too, don't forget to look out for November Nightmare. Go to Best Coast Pairings and look up November Nightmare. It's also a 40K event. It's a split room. We got 20 tables for Age of Sigmar and 20 tables for 40K. And all the benefits are going towards the VFW in Lockport, Illinois. And yeah, Moldmeister, that's it, man. Hail Team Nobbler. You're not kidding. You know, and really, I think people underappreciate Nobblers. I think this is something that when I become Emperor, it's going to change. It's going to change. It really is.
So, Pat, I have an important question for you.
Yes.
Where do you keep your Nobblers?
Well, you got to keep them somewhere, you know, dark, safe, tight, and moist. And I think that's what you got to remember. Just like that's what you told me, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the pants.
Learn from the best.
That's what you got to do. But we're going to wait for Bill to come back. He's over there biting his nails, and he's very nervous, very scared because of the the Slaves of Darkness list that was just posed on him, and he actually I'm really not sure what he's doing. He's under the table. He's been drinking and peekaboo. It's like whack-a-mole. It's like Bill whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-bill. Whack-a-bill.
No, Camille, I was ready for that phone to come waving by. You think she's kidding, folks? No.
I mean, just look at the cracks in the phone. So
that's it. That's it.
It's been used.
Anything to add? Anything to add at all?
Here you go.
Yeah, why do they match Pat's wrinkles?
Ouch!
Oh. Wow.
No.
Wow.
Nothing
How it
to
works
add.
is there's a camera.
Hi. I have nothing to add. Sean's a great friend of mine. He's the reason I'm not scared to beat all of you next time.
So I've been trying to give her a little confidence boost so she can dethrone Dustin.
No, I'm not doing that.
Well, if I keep
scared.
rolling like my last game on Saturday, that won't be that hard. So
I don't have a good rolling hand either. So
Sean's story is
you got to start praying to the dice gods.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, when you're feeling blue, I know we were today and it was going to be an AI Nobbler chatbot at SigmarSingles.com. I am changing that. It is now you connect directly to Sean.
the Sean chat.
If you wake me up.
BetterHealth.com has nothing on the advice of Sean Sorette.
Right.
All on black. That's all I'm saying.
Bet it all on black. That's his advice.
Bet it
I'm
all on
having a
black.
real tough time with my boyfriend. Bet on black.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That's a different show. Well, that's next week. But all right, since we're gonna close out responsibly, Slaves of Darkness, yeah, absolutely. Archaon, again, the ever chosen, the harbinger of the apocalypse. Yeah, nobody is playing him anymore. Again, so a cool model that sucks. I think he's overpriced.
All right, hang on. All right,
okay,
so
here we go.
This.
Back it up now.
Try to defend him on our way out. Try to defend him.
I'm a big fan of not running characters that are 20% on your list.
Okay.
That's why I'm not running Bellicor anymore because my personal opinion, Chosen will potentially do more than he will.
Well, sure. I mean, we're all saying the same thing, and that's why I think we haven't.
It's kind of like management. It's the employees that do all the work and the main things, and the managers just sit there and take all the credit for it.
Time out. We're going down a real hard left comment bend here.
Oh boy, we've just lost all of our listeners.
We're real sorry, folks. We will have him out at the gallows tomorrow by midday. Come see the execution of Sean. We don't take too kind to commies on this show.
And there'll be a pizza party afterwards.
It's not really communism.
They take no risk.
It's more of managers. I didn't say owners of companies, just management. We all know management sucks.
See, okay, can we just... Hey,
what does this have to do with Slaves of Darkness? What is it? What's going on? All right, guys. I want to thank you very much for being with us. We're gonna get out of here and drink heavily and figure out what we want to do when we all grow up. But thank you guys very much for being with us. And check out our past couple of shows. We talked about Slanesh and Beasts of Chaos and another. Did we do any other Chaos Armies yet? Or we're moving through them. We're moving through them.
Nah, we need Nurgle and Zinch.
We're gonna try to do Nurgle or maybe Korn next week. We'll figure. We'll drag a guest in here to do that.
Zinch would be fun.
Zinch would be fun. Are you lying to me about that?
You haven't done Zinch yet.
No, I'm saying
you didn't get it.
No, I'm saying the Weaver Tales.
You didn't get it. You got it. Good. You smell what I'm cooking?
Yep.
All right, man.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
There you go.
Open a window.
Hey, Steve. Sean. Hey, Steve. I know you're out there, you rat fuck. Sorry about that. But Sean, hey, thanks for joining us today, man. Here,
All right, Pat.
Everybody, say good night to Steve.
Good night, Steve.
Good night, Steve.
Night, Steve.
All right, man. Guys, thanks for being with us. See you next week. Bye.
Grimdark Live would like to thank you for slumming through another show with us for all things dice, dragons, demons, and a dwarf in the Warhammer worlds. We'll be back again real soon, so until then, roll them dice, fun and fair, and don't be a frickin' short pants. You can get your Grimdark Live fix on our live show or catch us on our Grimdark Live podcast. Never fear, gang. There'll be more great content from Grimdark Live coming to you each and every week. So stay tuned and stay grim, all you dice-chucking, glue-sniffing gamer goons. You're all awesome.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
Remember to embrace the main message here on Grimdark Live, and that's a social contract we have between gamers and the commitment we have to each other in this community. We're only as good as our last game. Check us out at grimdarklive.com, and don't forget to subscribe, follow, and recommend Grimdark Live to your friends. So long, Grimdark Goons. Until next time, may the dice gods bless you and your sweaty palms. Bye.
Hey, who you calling a short pants?